In the inaugural episode of Ancient Navigation, we extend our warmest greetings and blessings to all. In today's episode, we will focus on delving into the depths of human history as we uncover the pathways of ancient navigation. The history of modern humans began in Africa around 300,000 years ago, where they lived as hunter-gatherers. They later migrated out of Africa during the last glacial period and spread across the Earth by the end of the Ice Age 12,000 years ago. Following this, the agricultural revolution started in the fertile river valleys of West Asia, leading to the systematic farming of plants and animals. This shift from a nomadic to a sedentary lifestyle resulted in the development of complex societies, necessitating the creation of writing and accounting systems. During the Late Bronze Age, Hinduism emerged in the Indian subcontinent, and the Axial Age saw the growth of religions such as Buddhism, Confucianism, Jainism, Judaism, Taoism, and Zoroastrianism. Empires rose and fell, and the Middle Ages, 500 to 1500 CE, witnessed the rise of Christianity and Islam. The early modern period, 1500 to 1800 CE, marked the Age of Discovery and the Age of Enlightenment. By the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution began, leading to the late modern period, which continues to the present day. While this historical periodization is most applicable to European history, timelines in other regions such as China and India unfolded differently up to the 18th century. However, due to extensive international trade and colonization, the histories of most civilizations became interconnected. Over the last 250 years, human population growth, agriculture, industry, commerce, scientific knowledge, technology, communications, weapon development, and environmental degradation have all accelerated. The prehistoric era, which spans from around 3.3 million years ago to about 3000 BCE, is characterized by significant milestones in human evolution. It is believed that humans evolved in Africa, with genetic measurements suggesting that the lineage leading to Homo sapiens diverged from the lineage leading to chimpanzees and bonobos between 7 million and 5 million years ago. The term hominin refers to human ancestors that lived after the split with chimpanzees and bonobos, including various species and at least two distinct genera, Australopithecus and Homo. The early hominins, such as Australopithecus, had the same brain size as apes but were distinguished by their ability to walk on two legs, possibly due to a shift from forest to savanna habitats. The use of rudimentary stone tools around 3.3 million years ago marked the beginning of the Paleolithic era. The genus Homo evolved from Australopithecus, with the earliest record of Homo being the 2.8 million-year-old specimen LD 350-1 from Ethiopia. The earliest named species is Homo habilis, which evolved by 2.3 million years ago. One of the most significant differences between Homo habilis and Australopithecus was an increase in brain size. H. erectus, the first hominin species to leave Africa and disperse across Eurasia, evolved by 2 million years ago. Evidence suggests that as early as 1.5 million years ago, or certainly by 250,000 years ago, hominins began to use fire for heat and cooking. Around 500,000 years ago, Homo diversified into many new species of archaic humans, such as the Neanderthals in Europe, the Denisovans in Siberia, and the diminutive H. floresiensis in Indonesia. Human evolution was not a simple linear or branched progression but involved interbreeding between related species. Genomic research has shown that hybridization between substantially diverged lineages was common in human evolution. DNA evidence suggests that several genes of Neanderthal origin are present among all non-sub-Saharan African populations, and Neanderthals and other hominins, such as Denisovans, may have contributed up to 6% of their genome to present-day non-sub-Saharan African humans. The earliest humans, Homo sapiens, emerged in Africa around 300,000 years ago from a species commonly designated as either H. heidelbergensis or H. rhodesiensis. Over time, humans developed various characteristics and behaviors such as using jewelry, creating art, burying their dead, using projectile weapons, and engaging in seafaring. The development of syntactic language also greatly improved their ability to communicate. Early humans lived as hunter-gatherers and were generally nomadic. The migration of modern humans out of Africa took place in multiple waves, with the earliest migrations occurring 194,000 to 177,000 years ago. It is believed that all modern non-Africans are descended from a single group that left Africa 70,000 to 50,000 years ago. Homo sapiens colonized all continents and larger islands, reaching Australia 65,000 years ago, Europe 45,000 years ago, and the Americas 21,000 years ago. These migrations occurred during the most recent Ice Age. By the end of the Ice Age, some 12,000 years ago, humans had colonized nearly all ice-free parts of the globe. Human expansion coincided with both the Quaternary extinction event and Neanderthal extinction, likely caused by climate change, human activity, or a combination of the two. The Neolithic Revolution, which began around 10,000 BCE, marked the rise of agriculture and fundamentally changed human lifestyle. Agriculture emerged independently in various parts of the world, with at least 11 separate centers of origin. In Mesopotamia, cereal crop cultivation and animal domestication, including wheat, barley, sheep, and goats, had begun by at least 8,500 BCE. In China, rice was domesticated around 8,000 BCE in the Yangtze River Valley, and millet may have been cultivated in the Yellow River Valley by 700 BCE. In early China, pigs were the most important domesticated animal. In Africa's Sahara, people cultivated sorghum and other crops between 800 and 1500 BCE, while other agricultural centers emerged in the Ethiopian highlands and the West African rainforests. In the Indus River Valley, crops were cultivated by 700 BCE and cattle were domesticated by 6500 BCE. In the Americas, squash was cultivated by at least 8,500 BCE in South America, and domesticated arrowroot appeared in Central America by 7,800 BCE. Potatoes were first cultivated in the Andes of South America, where the llama was also domesticated. It is likely that women played a central role in plant domestication throughout these developments. The Neolithic Revolution, which led to the development of agriculture, has been the subject of various theories. Some suggest that agriculture was a result of an increase in population, prompting people to seek out new food sources. Others argue that agriculture was responsible for population growth as it improved the food supply. Additional factors proposed include climate change, resource scarcity, and ideology. The transition to agriculture had significant effects, creating food surpluses that could support larger populations and leading to the formation of the first cities and states. Cities became hubs of trade, manufacturing, and political power. They established a mutually beneficial relationship with the surrounding countryside, receiving agricultural products and providing manufactured goods and varying levels of political control in return. Early proto-cities emerged at Jericho and Catalhoyuk around 6000 BCE. Additionally, pastoral societies based on nomadic animal herding developed, particularly in areas unsuitable for plant cultivation such as the Eurasian steppe or the African Sahel. Conflict between nomadic herders and sedentary agriculturalists became a recurring theme in history. The use of metalworking began with the creation of copper tools and ornaments around 6400 BCE, followed by the use of gold and silver primarily for ornaments. The need for metal ores drove trade, as many early human settlements lacked the necessary ores. The first signs of bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, date to around 4500 BCE, but it was not widely used until the 3rd millennium BCE. Neolithic societies typically worshipped ancestors, sacred places, or anthropomorphic deities. The vast complex of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dated to 9500 to 800 BCE, is a remarkable example of a Neolithic religious or civic site, possibly built by hunter-gatherers rather than a sedentary population. Elaborate mortuary practices developed in the Levant during the pre-pottery Neolithic B, involving the burial of high-status individuals under house floors, with their skulls later removed, covered in plaster, painted, and displayed in public. Thank you for joining us on the inaugural episode of Ancient Navigation. Stay tuned for more upcoming episodes as we delve into fascinating topics.